Well, good afternoon. This is going to be a short drive, very short drive, to another yard that I'm going to be doing. This one is the one that I went and did the quote on the other day when I drove the lawnmower to do the quote. And it's actually right behind me. It's in my neighborhood, in the same subdivision that we are in. Literally right behind me. So I'm headed over here. I'm going to take care of this. I don't know if I'm going to do any major recording on this one, but I will be back after I get done here to talk about a couple of things going on with the equipment, and see if I can get your opinion on what you think could be the issues, and then I'm going to discuss some things that I came up with, some options that may actually be the answer to what I need to get it taken care of. So that was the house I just passed. Going to get turned around here and get that taken care of. This is probably going to be right now maybe a one-time cut. I am on there, to let them know that I can take care of it until they get their mower fixed. That's the biggest issue. Their lawnmower is down, so that's why we're taking care of it today. So, all right, so let's get parked and get going. I may get a couple of clips, not much. This isn't a very big yard, but we're going to get it taken care of. Here we go. And this, kids, is why it's important to trim, especially on new properties that you are unaware of. Well, that was a lot of trimming. I didn't film all the trimming because it was just a lot of it, and it's hot. I didn't feel like putting on that harness for the camera and everything. But as you saw in that one little clip, the importance of why you need to trim before you cut, especially on a unfamiliar property, one that you've never cut before, and especially one that is overgrown like this one is. You always want to trim first because you never know what you're going to find. And that's exactly what happened here. As I was trimming along the edge of the road up here, there is a very, not extremely deep, but a deep enough ditch there that could have caused some major issues with the mower, including, for an inexperienced person. Accidents happen with anybody, but with an inexperienced person, someone who might just decide to want to, hey, I'm going to mow everything and then come back and trim. Well, without seeing what I just saw, you stand the chance of flipping your mower, overturning it. There's a pretty good culvert there. I'll get a snapshot of it here in a moment. And a little ditch there, and there's two culverts, two drain pipes, one that runs underneath the driveway and one that runs underneath the road. And that could have been bad had I missed that entirely. So I'm going to get back out here, get going. I'm going to go ahead and edge the driveway and just do another quick walk around just to double check, make sure that there's nothing else that I'm missing. So I'll try to get a couple of point of view shots while I'm mowing. I'm not really going to set up the camera, but I will try to get a couple of point of view shots and discuss a little bit more about safety, guys. Oh yeah. Okay, so I know I said I was going to cover a little bit on the equipment. There you can see how tall this grass is. I did get the trimmer fixed, the one that I was having to replace the bulb on the other day, and there's part of that drain system that I was talking about. I did get it fixed for the most part. I ended up having to pull a fuel line from an older trimmer head and putting on there to get it fixed for now. But I got that one fixed, got it working, and so for right now, it's going to help out. My Ryobi is still not working. Not sure what we're going to do with that. And right here, there was a lot of debris right there, so I kind of powered down going through that. Here is that drain area. I'm going to start slowing this down so that you can get a closer look at it. Now, this particular angle doesn't really show how steep that is. But you can see there's the drain that goes underneath the road. And then over here is the one that goes underneath the driveway. Now, that was covered in grass. Had I not taken a chance and had not walked the property and went ahead and trimmed, that could have been very bad. And that's why it's important to trim and walk a new property before you start cutting. You saw there it was kind of going down and then back up. I didn't go side to side on that simply because of how steep it is, for safety reasons on that. But look how thick that grass is, guys. Man, is it thick. But tell you what, the deer handled it without any problem at all. Now, I dropped the guard down on here, the deflector. I dropped it down simply because there's a vehicle over there. Now, watch this right here. This is not too steep. This part's not too bad. But watch right here as I get turned around and watch this. There we go. Down and then up. That's a pretty steep. Now you imagine taking that full speed going through there, and wow, what kind of a jolt could that be? Oh, just imagine. It could be pretty bad. So here we go. This is the last strip of this part right here, getting it getting it knocked down and getting it taken care of. So yep, that was it. All done. Okay, so the video here doesn't really show or give a lot of good idea of exactly what this was, but this is a pretty good little drop off right here. And this is why it's important to do all of your major trimming first, especially on a new property. So I'm about to come back and blow all of this debris because I couldn't get in here with the mower good. I'm going to blow all of this and hit a couple little hit and miss spots with the trimmer that I couldn't get with the mower, and we're going to call this job done. But yeah, here we go. Nice and done. All the way around. Get some final trimming and blow everything off, and we can call this job done and done. Not too bad. Would have already been done, but I was talking with a customer and everything, and going over a few things. So yeah, I'll tell you what though, take a look at this yard. Yeah, that house is empty. That is one overgrown yard. Wow. Yep. Glad I'm not doing that one. All right, so yeah, that job is done and done. Wasn't too bad. I mean, yeah, it was overgrown, but good thing is we haven't finally haven't had any rain in a couple of days. Yeah, it's joys of the South. One minute we're like, we need the rain. The next minute we're like, we need the rain to stop. Oh, but anyway, yeah, finally had a couple of days of no rain, so that gave this yard plenty of time to dry out. Did have to go over it, 2 or 3 times, but it was a very small yard, so, wasn't that hard to do. Probably took me, an hour, at the most, hour to cut it, maybe a hair over. And that's only because, I was stopping, talking with the customer and everything, and, we're friends, so been knowing them for a little while, and so when they had stopped and, asked me about taking care of the yard for them because their mower was down, of course I agreed and everything, but, it wasn't that bad, and like I told them, I will, I'm here for them if they need me until they get the mower fixed. I don't have a problem. They're a neighbor. They're right behind me. So, yeah, we'll keep taking care of them until they can get their mower fixed. Or I'm actually I told them if I need to, I'll take a look at their mower and see, what it needs. Or, well, we know possibly a carburetor needs to be replaced on it, which they have a carburetor, just needs to be put on. So I told them I might take a look at it for them and everything and see what we can do. But yeah, got it done. Wasn't that bad of a job. But yeah, guys, like I said, as you saw in that one section there, that was definitely something to be aware of, something to be cautious of, when you are doing a yard that you are unfamiliar with, one that you've never done before, and it's overgrown like that. Always walk the yard, always do a trimming first, especially around the ditch area and everything, because like you saw in that video, in this video here, unexpected hazards can lie in tall grass that you're not familiar with, in yards that you're not familiar with. And the last thing you want to do is to be going down through there thinking that, it's just a little slope that you're going to be going up, something, kind of simple, but then you're going down and then all of a sudden it is a drop off. And that had a pretty decent drop off that I was able to handle. I don't know if you can really tell from the video because I was doing like a point of view. So I really don't know if you can tell, but it went down pretty steep and then back up. And I didn't go side to side. I went down and up. I don't know if you can really tell from the video. You might can. But it was a pretty big drop going down and then back up. And, had I just assumed that was not a very steep slope and just went getting down through there, cutting at the regular speed instead of taking it slowly, if I just went through there, because with the grass being dry, it was cutting really well. And if I went through there, going at a pretty decent speed, yeah, that could have been a pretty big thing. And that is the biggest thing, guys. If you're going to be doing things like this, is to, take into consideration, you want to, if you're doing a new yard, something that you have not, and I do this with every yard, any new yard that I get, whether it's overgrown or not, I will walk the property so that I can get a feel for any hazards, any holes, any drop-offs, any stumps that might be, out there, hidden rocks. A lot of times, some of these properties, you will have big rocks that are buried in the ground, but they're, high enough that if you're not careful, your blades will hit them. So I always do a walkthrough on all my properties that I get, whether it's overgrown or not. I'm going to walk the property, take a look at it, see if there's any hazards that need to be done, and then the best thing to do, now once you learn your property, you can flip it around any way you want to, really. For me, I prefer to trim first and then go do the main cutting, and then if I need to go back and do a touch-up on trimming, I can. But especially on a new property, once you have it done, you want to make sure that you do your trimming first so that you are aware of where any hazards are at. I mean, even little holes that you might not see. I was watching another video day before yesterday, and guy was cutting grass, and he was actually getting ready to come down through there on his zero turn, stand on zero turn, and just so happened, his son happened to put the shovel down, went down in a hole. And had they not saw that, and he came down through there with that stand on and hit that, it would have been a very bad situation for him. So always on new properties especially, do a walk around and trim first. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, as you can see, I'm not in the truck now. I'm about to go get us something to eat. And call this a day because I got a lot going on. I'm a little delayed into finishing this video. I had a call come through that I had to take care of before I could do the final video or the closing for this video. So, I've been home for about an hour and a half now. But yeah, calling it a day. Again, that grass is finally growing. Hey, I did get my yard cut as well yesterday. But this grass is finally growing. Finally, we can get back to mowing. You know what to do, guys. Yep. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you ring that bell to turn on notifications. Give us a great big thumbs up. Share this video. And make sure you leave a comment so we can get those algorithms up and going. Now, take a look at these before and after images. Oh, yeah.